many of us women are aware of the fact that we are attractive enough to be a potentially good partner for somebody. There is no any special reason out there that we shouldn't be able to find a partner and be happy in love with somebody. However, even though you may know how attractive, intelligent, smart, and good catch overall you may be, you may not feel it deep down. And before I get deeper into the reasons why and how it affects us in our love life, I want to introduce myself. I'm Dalila Justikla-Burge, and I'm the owner of Be Here and Now Relationship Academy. What's the main underlying belief that prevents not just women, but almost everybody from being happy in love? That's the notion that somehow or other you're not good enough. And I know again, I know you are good enough. Everybody told you that, and your coach in high school told you that you're good enough and you can accomplish a lot, and everybody tells you, all your friends tell you that you're pretty and attractive and a good person, and there is no potential reason why you may not find a partner that would be thrilled to be with you. However, as I already said, you may not feel it deep down. And flip of that, I'm not good, I'm not enough, is I'm too much. They are basically the same deep underlying beliefs. Somehow I'm not good enough for whatever it is you're after, relationship or success at work. But we are talking about love, romantic relationships here. How does that show out there in the world in a relationship? First of all, you may have a constant need to prove yourself. You may be over-functioning in a relationship. In other words, you may be overthinking and wondering, what else do I need to do? You wind up overthinking when you're on a date and saying something like, gosh, did I smile too much? Why isn't he texting me? Was I not kind enough? Was I not funny enough? Maybe I need to lose some weight. And there's so many other smaller beliefs that go under this umbrella of I'm not good enough for this. The other ways in which this manifests itself in your life is you may be staying in a bad relationship that really doesn't work for you, but you stay just because you feel like you may not be able to find somebody that you really truly would be happy with. There are other ways of thinking. You may say all men are the same and all good guys are taken, and so on and so on. Now, I would actually like to ask you, what are some limiting beliefs that you hear? You can please comment below and say, what are some limiting beliefs that you think stem from this, I'm not good enough? How do they show themselves either in your relationship or relationships of your friends? What happens? How do we wind up in this place? You may be somebody who grew up in a wonderful family, and your parents did their best. Imagine a little girl. Picture a little girl crying, for instance, and being angry and pouting and saying, oh, my brother took my toy, and she's making a little angry face, and then her dad comes and says, oh, come on, everything is okay. You're not your pretty little self when you cry. So what's the underlying message here? That I'm too much. My emotions are too much for the world. And in this case, especially, man, my dad can't tolerate my crying and my emotions. The other message here is that women are supposed to be pretty to be good enough, and somehow you need to modify yourself in order to be accepted and acceptable and lovable. Or imagine the same girl, maybe a little bit later in life, she's doing her homework and her dad comes back from work really tired. It was a stressful day. Understandably, dad works really hard, comes late, and the little girl goes to meet him, and she sees his stressed out face and feels, oh my God, I need to kind of stay away. I need to be a nice girl. And then maybe, if I do my homework well, if I get good grades, that's when she gets some attention and affection. You get these messages. You often don't get this natural affection from your parents when you are just yourself, when you're painting the wall in your no parents want you to paint their walls drawing something as a little girl, but when you're just being your natural self, you don't get approval from your parents. But on the other hand, when you work hard, when you get good grades, they praise you, and then you strive constantly to be better and better and better and work harder. And this is how you train your nervous system that you need to show up in relationships. So when you wind up on a dating scene or in a relationship with men, you just constantly think that you need to overfunction. Then you need to be industrious and somehow prove yourself that you just being yourself isn't necessarily enough. And one of the sad things that happen in that case is that you may wind up not being able to like guys who can just love you naturally. You may seek guys that withdraw their affection and guys that are somehow emotionally withdrawn and emotionally unavailable, so you can constantly prove yourself. But that would be fine if you're happy in that. Deep down, you really crave this deep connection and being loved and accepted for exactly who you are. So there is that issue. So although you know you are enough, although you know you're pretty enough, you are smart enough, none of that really matters, because deep down you don't feel that enoughness. And even if you find a guy who will love you, you will not feel it, because you don't feel you're lovable enough. And somehow you're always gonna struggle with that until you address these issues. So in my work with clients, I help them, first of all, get in touch with understanding themselves and what their limiting beliefs are. And I help them work through these issues with various techniques, getting in touch with that inner child feelings while staying in the present moment. The other thing that I would like to encourage you to start understanding yourself is download my Accidental Singledom Checklist, and you can get access to courses that will help you work through these issues. If you have any questions, I would love you to leave a comment, or you can PM me if you would like me to address some of these issues in my future videos. Sign up for my Accidental Singledom Checklist. Have a good day.